Hi everyone, welcome back to the studio vlog. I'm actually filming on a Monday. What world is this? Oh my gosh. It's about 2 o'clock. March has arrived. Yay! It's warming up outside somewhat. But it's 2 o'clock. I was not in the studio most of this morning because I had I had a client meeting for a good portion of my morning. I just got back a little bit ago. I was actually meeting with a friend slash client, Haral of Shop Dawa. She runs a brand called Dawa. I'm sure I'll share more as we get closer to her website launch date, but for now I figured I'd share some of the footage of our coffee meeting this morning, which ended up going about 3 hours, but I just love the company of Haral, so we were just chatting up about her trip to back home to India. She visited Mumbai. She was at a fashion week out there, so she was just filled with inspiration and showing me photos and talking to me about brands, and it was actually really just a fun time to catch up and, you know, connect about the project that we're both working on together and you know, talk about family stuff and things like that. But yeah, it ended up going about 3 hours long, so I'm just getting back. I have to actually use this next hour to catch up. I have a launch that's supposed to go live that I just need to push live. They're all in draft mode. And then I have some client work that I need to get pushed out before I get the kids today from school. But yeah, so I just wanted to check in really quick, share what I was working on. Maybe I'll pull in some footage of the new product that just went live today and share some insights to what I was working on this morning. It was like I said, I met with Haral. It was a great time. Lots of coffee shop talk and just some creative vision and inspiration that we were sharing with one another. So it's always fun to connect with like-minded individuals and creatives, and Haral's got an awesome eye. She's just a creative soul, and there's a lot of passion into the work that she's trying to do right now. So I'm really excited to be coming along for the ride with her for this project. And I will talk to you guys soon, probably tomorrow and Wednesday, see what I'm working on. Oh, I have a podcast I wanted to share with you guys called Go With The Flow. It is by Erin Ryan of Crystal Lake Reiki. She is the Reiki practitioner that I typically go to when I am in need of a Reiki fix. And she's just this insightful, in tune, spiritual mama who just inspires me to no end. But she's got an awesome podcast that I've been listening to, and I listened to an episode yesterday that was all about the productivity pattern, and I was like, oh my god, this is the stuff that I'm trying to break free of. So like having, you know, struggling with resting and always having my day filled with to-dos that are often overwhelming and just never like taking a break. So I'm gonna share a link down below. I might touch on that later this week for the things that I learned this week from last week. But yeah, all right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Hello my creative people, welcome back to the studio vlog. I am near the tail end of this week. I know I only talked a bit on Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday has been really hectic, but I got work done. I don't feel so stressed like I did last week, despite having other things to do outside of work. So today is, what do I have to do? So my battery's gonna die, so I gotta be fast. Today I have to get Studio Vlog 6 loaded to YouTube. I have to make a cover for it really quick. I have to work on a tutorial that's gonna go live next week over on YouTube. This one is going to be focusing on the business side of the freelance life. So how I use Trello to work with my clients and just the details of how I use that for project management. It's just super easy, super simple, it's free, and it's a really great way to keep my clients and myself on track. I know I have deadlines, but often when I'm working with clients, I need assets from them, things from them, copy from them, you know, for different projects or different questionnaires back in terms of branding. And if you don't give a client their own deadline, things are gonna fall behind essentially. So I use Trello to keep my clients on track and me on track so that my projects can meet the deadline goals that I set for them. Tomorrow is gonna be prep day for my Skillshare class. I have to get the script done. I actually have the intro pre-recorded and finished. I just have to give my outline of the different parts that I need to film. This one is gonna be less screen cherry, more physical doing, because I'm actually doing a physical sticker tutorial. So I use a Cricut and I'm gonna go through the steps of that. I know there's tons of these already on, you know, the interwebs, but I think it'll be a good one. And again, it's just, I'll put my spin on it. So yeah, so that is the day-to-day. What else I want to share? I got these cute little succulents from Trader Joe's. If you're at Trader Joe's, go find these babies. They're so cute. I needed some green up here. I'm actually gonna probably be doing a little video on like a studio redo. I know those are popular, so I'm trying to go for some popular stuff too, but my studio I need to overhaul and clean in here. It's like a catch-all, and I need to do that, so I'll probably film that. And of course it's gonna be like IKEA, but maybe some places like Big Lots, so we'll see. But Trader Joe's, seriously, how adorable are these? So yeah, so I needed some green in here, so I added some live plants. That'll be it for today. I'll probably try and check in later today. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say, like what I learned this week, because we're already almost at the end of the week. What did I learn this week? Oh, okay. So Woo Woo Jenny's coming out. Don't judge me. And if this scares you, then just turn it off, and I promise you it's not of the devil. So I love tarot cards, okay? I do my own readings. I don't always do them for other people, maybe every once in a while. I also have to be in the right mindset. And I've been so stressed and crazy the last 2 weeks, I haven't been in the right mindset to pull cards. Although probably it would be good for me to do that, because I can like read into it, but I worry that I read into it negatively. But I pulled some cards yesterday, and oh, the irony of this. And this isn't really like telling your future. You can't really tell your future, but it can give you insight. And I think it's more of a subconscious thing when you look at it from like a psychological perspective. This is very good at helping you get insight subconsciously. So I pulled cards, I did a spread, and my cards were Justice, Three of Wands, Death, Wheel of Fortune, the Sun, and Eight of Swords. And you hear Death, and right away people are like, oh my god, death. And no, it's not like that. Death is, often you think about death and rebirth, think about the seasons. Plants die off, and it's more like they go into hibernation, and you know, trees lose all their leaves. This idea of losing in order to open yourself up for rebirth and regrowth and opportunity to grow and evolve, right? So when I saw that, I was like, oh boy. And then I saw Justice too. So I've kind of been hinting at some stuff going on with the girls at school that I've kind of been fighting for them in terms of accommodations and things like that. And I was pulled into this crazy world that I did not know existed. And it's really interesting how when you're trying to be an advocate, how hard it can be to do that, especially when you're advocating for children, right? And I'm not a lawyer, I'm not a true advocate. I'm very educated on things. I look up things, I tap into resources. There's some great resources in Chicago that are for advocates and for parents when it comes to this kind of stuff, right? And I was feeling at a loss these last, few months when it came to this thing. And I took a different route and a different approach over the last few weeks. And I felt like this weight has been lifted off my shoulders. And I also, the same thing kind of relates to work too. I've been kind of letting go of things. I listened to this podcast by Erin Ryan of Crystal Lake Reiki, and it's called Go With The Flow. And she's been talking about how, especially people who are creatives, sensitives, people who are running their own business, we often want to control everything. We hold on for dear life, and we don't really just ever just let it happen, right? Okay, guys, forgive the change. My camera died, and both of my batteries are. That's a good thing though. That means I've been vlogging, so both of my batteries are dead. So I want to finish talking about this thing. So I listened to this podcast, Go With The Flow, and Erin has been talking about how this idea of letting go, especially if you're a small business owner, if you're creative, this idea of, being in control of what you're doing, the idea of putting the hard work in, you should be able to, reap the benefits of it. And sometimes it's not always the case if you feel like you're pushing too hard or holding on to things that, you don't need to hold on to, that doesn't allow opportunity to pull in for the things that, that are meant for you, right? So, like I said, I pulled these cards. I was writing down just my thoughts on what everything meant. So I pulled these cards, right? And it's just funny that death and justice were the first two, and the sun. And I was thinking about all the stuff that I've been going through with the kids and with work and just life in general. It's been tough. But I've been looking at it as a period of growth, right? What am I supposed to be learning? What am I learning from this? I'm learning patience. I'm learning how to deal with people who basically don't care, and how not even so much that I need to convince them to care, but show them that I care enough that I'm gonna, keep fighting for what's rightfully ours, or fighting, for my kids and their needs. So I saw these things and I was it was a sigh of relief, because I've been putting all this effort and energy into these things with my family, and putting all this effort and energy into the work that I'm doing, right? So when you look at death and justice together, it's this idea of overcoming obstacles, this idea of overcoming obstacles and difficulties, and often learning from trauma. We've had traumatic events in our family over the last year, with losing family members. We've had traumatic events with just, the stuff going on with my kiddo with her sensory processing disorder, and my oldest with some of her learning abilities and things like that. And the fact that people will brush that off, right? And so it's we've gone through all these difficulties so that I can learn and I can grow and I can be a better parent. I could be a better mom to them both. But I feel in general, just so I could be a better freaking human, because I understand these hardships and I understand the path that people walk. And same thing with work, putting in the effort and energy into these classes, putting in the effort and energy into pitching clients, putting in the effort and energy into my creative work, and believing that I am capable and I am worthy and I am able and talented, and I just have to be willing to put that out there. So it was funny that the Three of Wands came up, because Three of Wands essentially means success, and it's success is on its way. The Three of Wands is this woman standing at an overlook. It's a gorgeous card, standing at an overlook and watching the boats pass by, and it's she's here, I was here
and I've climbed this mountain, I'm at this overpass, and now I can look at the beauty that is all around me. I've put the hard work in, and now is my time to reap those benefits, reap those rewards. But the thing is, with this card, it implores you to maintain confidence. And I think that's that hard thing, especially with creatives, like working moms and people who are doing this kind of work in the freelance world. Like, we feel often, and I know it's not just me because I have other creative friends that I've talked to about this idea of the imposter syndrome, right? So just being confident and steady in your commitment and steady in the work that you're doing, and know that your dreams are going to come to fruition. I'm really working on this concept for this kids book, and I want to bring it into fruition, and it has to do with, you know, growing up in the inner city. It has to do with my life and being able to create gorgeous illustrations alongside a storyline that is part of me is a scary, scary thing. But I know if I'm committed, because I know I can put the work in. Like, I am, if there's one thing people will tell you, I am a worker. I will put the work in. I will put the energy in. I will show up even on days that I don't want to show up. So the Three of Wands is just like it makes me feel emotional that like I pulled that, because I see that I'm putting in the effort and that those benefits are there. I just have to believe that I'm worthy of them. And then also, like, the Wheel of Fortune is basically protection of the weak. And like I said, I'm really advocating for our family lately, but protection of the weak through strength. And, you know, if there's one thing that we are, you know, in terms of parenting for our girls, is we will fight. I'm a mama bear, and I'm not going to be, you know, someone to just like, you know, people, especially because I'm a minority, the assumption is that we don't know better, right? The assumption is that, oh, they're, you know, I'm going to be feeble and meek and not, well, and I know that's not always the case for like electing a woman, but honestly, when it comes to things like a school system, you don't know any better. You don't know what's best for your kid. And I educate myself purposely so that I do know better and I can make sure my kids are taken care of. And so this Wheel of Fortune is protection of the weak through strength, as well as a well-run community. So within the community, this idea of change for joy, change for success. And like, I don't know how much more spot on this could have been for me. I should do this more often. I'm gonna become one of those spiritual YouTubers. No, I'm still an artist, guys. I am an artist, but I think this is like really an interesting way to look at like meditation and insights, and you can journal this, like pulling these cards and just helping me think about my situation and how I can approach them and how I can adjust my mindset for it. So after that, I pulled the Sun, and this card essentially is meant to it's meant to present this feeling of optimism and fulfillment. And it represents the idea that the dawn always follows the darkest nights, right? And I won't lie, it's been a dark few years for our family, and like the sun is shining right now, and this card is just a reminder to like keep moving forward. And I'm not gonna get emotional. What am I doing? Stop. Woo. After that, I pulled the Eight of Swords. You see this and you're like, oh my God, what does this mean? This looks freaky, this looks scary. And reality check. This card was my reality check. Limiting thoughts, right? We all have them. As creatives, we are often our own worst critics, right? So this card was a reality check for me. It was a reminder that I need to stop limiting myself with my own limiting thoughts, right? It shows this woman who is bound and blindfolded, right? And you're like, what does this mean? And there's swords surrounding her, right? And it's basically like the idea that she's kind of trapped in place. but it's a symbol of limiting thoughts. It's a symbol of limiting beliefs and a mindset that basically prevents you from moving forward. I can't move forward if I keep myself stuck in the same mind patterns, mindset, right? And the reality is that if you look closer, if this woman just removes her blindfold, she would quickly realize that she can escape her predicament. Like, there's not really swords right in front of her. She can walk straight through. And this was a reality check for me, to just like check my thoughts, let go of my limiting beliefs, and establish a more empowered mindset that I am capable, I am strong, I am able-minded, I am intelligent, I'm creative, I am talented. And I think that's something that we all need to hear sometimes as, you know, self-employed individuals, artists, creatives, you know, anyone, even if you're employed a 9-to-5 job and you're doing your artwork, you're doing your creative work, we still need to remember and pull from that inner strength, that inner well. And so it was just this reading just blew my mind. So I wanted to share that with you guys. That was what I learned this week. It's just a reminder to, you know, believe in myself. And I probably say this every video, you know, when I talk about like things I've learned. Believe in yourself, empower yourself. You are the bearer of your own destiny. And yeah, so that's what I learned this week. I wanted to share those with you. This deck is gorgeous, by the way. It's the Modern Witches deck. Absolutely gorgeous artwork. I got this as a gift for my birthday, and it's just an absolutely gorgeous deck. Like, it's just beautiful. Gorgeous artwork, and it's by Lisa Sterling. I hope I said her name right. But she's an artist, I think, based out of, I want to say, Ohio. She's an illustrator, and the creator of the Modern Witch Tarot. I follow her on Instagram. I love her art. I knew about her before I got these cards, which was ironic because it's probably why I cried so hard when I got the gift. Also because not everyone appreciated my weirdness as a kid, and I'm fully in my woo-woo and in my witchy self, and I'm not afraid to share that anymore, because for the longest time, you know, colonialist type, you know, religion idea aspects were pushed on me as a youth. And if there's one thing my mom did teach me, she was like, you have to follow your own path. And we're from an island. We're from Puerto Rico, and my other side of my family's from Mexico, and we are some magical women. You know, a lot of love and work is put into it. It's just, I can absolutely cherish and appreciate it. But yeah, check out Lisa Sterling. She's on Instagram at Lisa Sterling. You can check out her deck. I believe it's for sale on Amazon, but I would see if you can go to her website and buy it, because I'd rather you support her directly. I think the website is liminal11.com, and that's LIMINAL11, like the number one. .com. She's a fantastic illustrator, artist. I love her. So inspiring. It looks so yummy. Oh, your fingers are covered. Hold on. You don't want to drop it in.
Yummy.
Is it good? So good.